Hi guys, thank you ever so much for being kind enough to join us yet again. That's so amazingly exhilarating. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll promise I will make it up to you. I appreciate how hard it is to get you out of your busy schedule and back to our community, but we know how how much we need you. Without you, none of it would have happened. That's a very important part. A very quick explanation of the co-creation arc. When I say about co-creation, what do I mean by that? Remember that meme about the tree falling down in the middle of the forest? And then the question is, the if the tree falls down in the middle of a forest but there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? And the correct answer to this is, who gives a clack? So this is what co-creation is all about, that you can have the greatest content on the planet Earth, but if there's no one else to hear it, it doesn't make a difference. That's why it's co-creation. That's why creating content is not more or less important than consumption of content, and that's why we co-create together, because we are building community here. And your feedback, your back and forth in the comment section, that's crucial, most quintessential part of the entire process. So once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having as much fun as I'm having making those videos and collaborating with you guys. But let's quickly do a recap of the last lesson. This is lesson number 3. The last lesson was about the 3 indices, which are predetermined each side with each side of your what. What's in it for me, what's in it for us, what's in it for humanity. And the 3 indices are the happiness index, love versus fear spectrum, the trust index, aka the cohesion, alignment with your integrity, the trust versus lack of trust, and the last index is the freedom index. It's like, am I doing what I want to do, or am I doing what someone else's want me to do? Whereabouts am I on that? So those 3 indices, they are predetermined your each and every vertical of your why, the reason why you're doing it, the reason why you're being here is because you want to be happy, you want to be with the highest alignment with what you truly want to do, and you want you want to be able to do those 2 things. You want to live your life to the fullest. There will be people, many of whom they will use it as a transitional basis to the new lifestyle, many of whom will be working on 3 or 4 days per week, and the rest of the time they'll be spending with their families, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to be a millionaire, you don't have to be a billionaire. As long as you are living your perfect life, as long as you are following your highest excitement, as long as you are having a buzz and you're sharing it with the rest of the planet, this is what's most important to me. Like when people ask me, JP, what is your highest excitement? You guys are. There's nothing more exhilarating for me than when people have greatest excitement. I'm a super powerful empath, so I love surrounding myself with the positive and loving and compassionate people. And make no mistake, I know it sounds slightly discriminative, but the people on this channel, in these comment sections, you guys are the best. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Like, I don't care about other channels, I don't care about other social media, other platforms. You guys are the best. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So on that note, let's quickly discuss how to maximize the KPIs. So how to maximize your happiness, your trust, and your freedom indices. So if you'll be kind enough to indulge me, the analogy used by one of my favorite philosophers from United States of America, the great master Bruce Lee, because the lesson number 3 will be 3 modalities of consciousness. And I appreciate that some people might feel a little bit queasy about the consciousness. What is consciousness? If you are aware of me talking to you, that's it. That's consciousness. Consciousness is awareness. So everything you know, and when you learn, you expand your consciousness, you learn more. So if we use the very crude analogy to the computer, then your consciousness will be your hard drive, the memory of your hard drive, plus your CPU, your power of gaining new algorithms and downloading the new mathematical models and then applying them in your specific life circumstances within the framework of your algorithm of life. So that is consciousness, and the three modalities of consciousness, we're going to use that analogy given by the great master Bruce Lee. Be like water. So the water has three modalities of existence. It has the solid modality, aka ice. It has the liquid modality, the water in its most natural state when it's within the rivers and oceans and so forth. And lastly, the gaseous form, aka when it's a steam. So all of it is the same, and yet it is in three different formats. So the same thing happens with consciousness, and that has been identified by one of the greatest psychiatrists and the passionate students of human mind, Carl Jung. Carl Jung has been the greatest disciple of Sigmund Freud. Sigmund is very well known throughout the planet. Carl Jung, not so much. Not coincidental, Carl Jung was the greatest disciple of Sigmund, but then he went 180. He went against Sigmund and he said, no, 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 oh, you guys are service to serve. You are the naughties. I don't want anything to do with you guys. So Carl Jung, I apologize for inserting my confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is when you have the preset belief systems and you are framing the new information in such a way that it reinforces what you already choose to believe in. But we're going to be talking about it in the future when we deal with the belief systems. But essentially, my personal input, if you'll be kind enough to indulge me such an opportunity, would be that Carl Jung was one of the best, if not the best, student of human mind. And he is responsible for that terminology that we will be using: subconsciousness, consciousness, and superconsciousness. And once again, how to make it accessible to the widest possible amount of people, regardless of their educational background or regardless of their levels of consciousness. Subconsciousness is your body. Consciousness is your mind / emotionality, and then superconsciousness, this is the part of many of our brothers and sisters, especially from the humanist background, those who are very much into sciences and proofs and empiricism and peer review, those who have their feet firmly on the ground and they don't appreciate those new age analogies. Guys, we're going to be taking knowledge from all the sources to give everyone the greatest chance of co-creation and expansion as fast as it makes them feel comfortable. So we'll be learning from everyone, because that's what consciousness expansion is. It's learning, and that's what the game of life is all about, is how fast you acquire the new information in order to overcome the challenges that the life will throw at you. So we do not discriminate against whether it's a humanist, whether it's a religionist, or whether it's a metaphysicist. We learn from everybody, and everyone is welcome here, whatever is your core belief systems. We're going to be discussing the boss scripts, the base operating systems in the future. But for the time being, if you're a humanist and you're not really very comfortable with the concept of superconsciousness, the meme that you can use is that belief system that I'm certain you have heard about it, that you're using only 20% of the capacity of human brain. So the remaining 80%, that would be your superconsciousness. The superconsciousness is the potential of your brain that you're not using yet. Now, I'm going to dismantle that belief system just to give you the frame of reference that it's essentially take what you will, use whatever is useful to you, and you'll be modifying it however you please. And once again, there'll be a lesson very soon about changing your belief systems, how you'll be essentially calibrating your algorithm of life based on the software that you'll be programming yourself with. But if you do the EEC, if you do the scanning of the brain, you will see that essentially the entirety of the brain is active. However, what the meme behind the meme, the true meaning behind the 80-20 rule of the capacity of the brain, is that, as you most likely remember from the biology lesson, each cell of your brain and the nervous system, the neuron, looks like a tiny tree, dendrite. And that tiny tree, what it does, because it's surrounded by other trees, once again, the analogy. We've started with the meme of the falling tree. We did it purposefully. So you have that singular tree, that's your neuron, that's a singular cell. And as it connects, as you use your brain, as you develop new concepts, as you are learning, as you are expanding consciousness, what happens is that the tree develops new connections. And the capacity of developing new connections, it's technically infinite. So in practical terms, as long as you develop interconnectivity between the cells within your brain, your capacity of solving problems or downloading and developing new ideas or new mathematical models or new products or new services, technically those capacities are unlimited. So in practice, what it is, it's not even that you're using 20% of your brain, you're not using even 1% of your potential. And this is why superconsciousness is such an important concept. Doesn't matter if you're a humanist, doesn't matter if you are Fernie, if you are a man or a woman of science, doesn't matter. For the time being, the meme that we're going to be working with is that many people fail because they are using only 1% of the true potential. And the true potential is, if you imagine that meme now and we just copy and paste it onto the people. Imagine that you are a cell, you are a neuron of one giant brain called humanity, and you are connected with some people. Perhaps you are blessed already with having the us, the 7 people that you'll be, or whatever number of people that you'll be collaborating and co-creating. Maybe you're blessed to have them. If not, don't worry about it. They will come, or we will find them for you. Don't worry. When the time comes, they will come searching for you. Trust me. Because if you are searching for them, they are searching for you, as long as you align with the values. But imagine that you are that cell and you have some connectivity with the people. But how many people are you connected with? How many people do you connect on a daily basis? How many people do you connect on a monthly basis? Is it in hundreds? Is it in thousands? Is it in millions? I think you see where I'm going with it, that your connectivity, just like connectivity of your brain, is technically unlimited. So once again, you're using less than 1% of your brain. And there's many people who are almost grandmasters of disempowering themselves because they look through life from the perspective of their consciousness and their subconsciousness. They look at the current circumstances. They look at what they represent physically, mentally, and financially, and they say, no, I cannot, JP, this is simple. I would never be able to make £1 million / dollars in 6 years from today. No, it's not possible. Let me assure you, 80% of humans, regardless of their biology, regardless of their political belief systems, regardless of their educational background, regardless of their geography, 80% with this level of technology, with this level of open source, with this level of tools that we have available practically for free, I promise you, 8 out of 10 humans could do it. And I know I'm gonna come as super presumptuous, and I know I'm like, don't believe the hype, but honestly, if you think for 1 second that you're using less than 1% of your capacity, and your capacity is really reflected not by capacity of your brain, but by capacity of connecting with your fellow human beings, then you can come to appreciate that many of you will actually do much more. And listen, money is great. It's a score point of measuring how good you are in providing value to other people's lives, services and goods and branding or coaching or whatever it is that you'll be providing for your fellow human beings. But the number one thing, happiness index. So you need to be excited. You're doing it because you absolutely love doing it. You love providing value for the people. You love connecting with your fellow human being. And this is it. That connectivity, that is your potential. So for the time being, please accept the fact that you're not even using 1% of your potential, because you're not connected with the billions of people who might be really exhilarating of getting to know as amazing human being as you've allowed yourself to be, or you will become, if you don't believe yet that you're an amazing person. And if you don't believe that, then I'm not doing my job correctly, not yet. So please be kind enough to bear with us, all in good time. Be patient, just keep going, and when each and every time you start to lose your battery charge, just come back to us and we will recharge your batteries, which brings us to another very important aspect of this equation. So for the time being, very quick recap: physically, mentally, superconsciously / spiritually, or whatever definition you wish to use. Many people call it consciousness or soul, but essentially is that these are your three modalities of consciousness. These are your three perspectives that you'll be paying attention to, because how you're going to connect with the people will largely be dependent upon your superconsciousness. Now, very quickly, there's another aspect I would like you to pay attention to, if you'll be so kind. The most famous equation on the planet Earth, E equals mc square. E stands for energy, m stands for mass, aka the matter, and c square is the squared speed of light. So in other words, everything that exists in the physical multiverse, aka matter and light, so if you tally up everything, your body, your consciousness, the buildings, your planet, all planets, all galaxies, all of it is energy. And energy is always based upon the wave function. So the wave function, as you remember from the mathematics lesson, is when you, as the name suggests, when you have a wave and you have the measurable frequency, aka when the wave goes up and down, and then when it repeats the pattern, that's the frequency. And you don't have to be great at physics, you don't have to be great at mathematics. The frequency is just, once again, a funky word for a rhythm. Rhythm. Everything is about rhythm, and everything follows that pattern. Everything is energy and everything follows a rhythm. Your heartbeat, your electromagnetic frequency that is emitted by your brain, the electromagnetic frequency of your mobile phone and other devices, the tides of the sun coming up and down, the tides of oceans, they come up and they go back out, and they go back. You have the seasons. Everything in the multiverse is based on the rhythm, and I would like you to entertain this as a possibility. I'm not saying that this is true, I'm not saying it's not true. You will integrate it however you please, but I would like you to entertain the possibility that your consciousness is energy, and as such it is dependent upon that variable, aka the frequency. High vibrational frequency, superconsciousness. Low vibrational frequency, solidity of the matter. So I would like you to entertain it as an option. Don't hold on to it. Don't think too much whether this is true or not. In reality, your brain is such a magnificent device, it doesn't care if it's true or not. If you have vivid imagination and you visualize a wonderful meal, you will start salivating, because for your brain it doesn't make a difference if it's true or not. What makes a difference is the second index, trust. Remember, your belief systems, you'll be assigning the trust to it. And if you have a belief system that really resonates deeply with you, that consciousness is energy and superconsciousness is energy, then just go with the flow, just go with it. Just trust your instinct, trust your gut feel. The greatest billionaires on this planet, yes, they will look at facts and figures, they will look at the spreadsheets, they will listen to their advisors, but when it comes to the greatest decision making, almost always they will tell you the gut feel or the intuition. Follow your heart, follow your bliss, follow your highest excitement. Listen to your heart, it won't lead you astray. Always follow your heart. If it resonates with you, go with it. If it doesn't, just change it or ignore it. But for the time being, just try to entertain the notion that the way you will connect with your fellow human beings will be predetermined by your superconsciousness, which you have been slightly neglective of. So whether you are a humanist or religionist or metaphysicist, we'll be talking about that in future videos. But the way you're going to connect with your fellow human being and you're going to maximize your indices, the happiness index, your trust index, and your freedom index, is within the realm of your superconsciousness. It's within the realm of the potential that you haven't even begun to scratch surface of. because you haven't got a clue how much you can go, how far you can go if you connect with sufficient amount of the good people that will be, and that has entered the vernacular of ordinary people, in sync with you. Once again, synchronizing the vibration, the rhythm. I feel your flow, I feel your vibe, I love your energy. These are the nomenclatures that have entered the collective vernacular of humanity, and they are here to stay. And that's exactly right. It doesn't matter if the superconsciousness is energy. If you choose to believe that it is, and the people around you choose to believe the same, you will synchronize and you'll be in the flow. For the time being, I would like you to know that the secret behind the three verticals, particularly the first two, actually all of them, but you start with love versus fear, you start with happiness, then you build trust because you are aligning with your fellow human beings, and lastly, that's what gives all of you guys greater and greater freedom. You see, this is where so many of our beautiful brothers and sisters, they fail because they want to do it alone. You cannot do it alone. You have to synchronize. You have to be in vibe. You have to be together. Oneness. Remember the bottom vertical of your Y. Remember the left hand side of your Y. So yes, I would like you to entertain the notion that how you're going to synchronize yourself, not just with your team, but with the rest of the market. Once again, the dehumanizing term, we're going to use that because many people, the refugees from the corporate world, welcome here. Many people use that nomenclature, so we'll be using that nomenclature to make it available for all. But for the time being, please, you don't need to know how you're going to connect. You don't need to know how you're going to make your content exponentially growing. You don't need to know how seemingly serendipitously, almost as if by magic, people will be showing up exactly where you need them precisely at the moment. When you don't need to know any of that. You just need to have the happiness. Am I having fun? Am I getting closer and closer to my highest excitement? And the trust in the process. I don't need to know how it's going to happen. I know it will going to happen. If you are a religious person, you'll have a trust in God. If you are a metaphysicist, you will trust the singularity or creation or whatever else is your definition. If you're a humanist, you will trust the process. You will trust the algorithm. You will trust the open source and artificial intelligence. But that's what you have to focus upon, and you don't need to know the details. Most of the time you won't even realize how it happened, but it will be happening for you as long as you trust that it can happen to you. And most of the time it's going to be happening within the realm of your superconsciousness. So please just relax. Everything is great, everything is fine. As long as you keep going, you will get where you need to get precisely when you need to get there. So this is the way to maximizing your three vertices: your happiness, your freedom, and your trust. It's by being conscious of the fact that each and every human has three modalities operation. Is it good for my body? Is it good for my mind? If it's good, is it good for my consciousness / soul? Or whatever you would, or my super consciousness if you're a humanist. So I would like you to pay attention to that if you'd be so kind. And this is how you'll be maximizing those medians that we were talking about. That how do I get most happy? How do I get most trustworthy? How do I get more free? How do our team does it? How do we do it to encourage the people who are consuming our products, our services, our content? How do we maximize all those three verticals at the same time? That's if you are loving and respectful towards your body, towards your mind, towards your consciousness, towards your soul. And if you'll be kind enough to indulge me with a tiny exercise / I've got a homework for you guys, if you'd be so kind, because there's many people here who will be coming who have, some of them will have traumatic events, some of them will go through different situations in their life, and they'll be ridden with guilt and fear and guilt complex that will be holding them back. So we'll be dismantling that in the future, but for the time being, just to give the extra oomph to those beautiful human beings, thank you so much for being here. whomever you are, whatever is your life story, thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you'll be kind enough, no matter what was your story, you are here now. If you'll be kind enough to take the mirror today, or your phone, or however you can see your reflection, just look yourself in the eye and ask yourself, how am I doing physically? How am I doing mentally? And how am I doing super consciously? Am I really getting in life where I want to be getting? And hopefully this will be the final pitch, the final umph that you're going to give to yourself, that you do deserve the best possible life, and that you are in this place not because it's coincidental or serendipitous. You were meant to be here, and thank you ever so much for being here. Just keep going. We are here for you. And if there's absolutely anything that our community and my humble self in particular can do for you to keep you going, I'll be more than delighted to serve you. Nothing pleases me more than helping people empower themselves to overcome their challenges, because that's the best way you can help people. Don't give him a fish. Don't give them a fishing pole. Inspire them to build a fishing academy so they can live themselves. Oh my God, fishing academy. The moral and memes are coming back. Honestly, it's such a magical timeline to be alive in. So look yourself in the eye. How am I doing? And if you were a little bit unkind to yourself, just look yourself in the eye and say, hey, I'm on that journey now. It's the Game of Life TV, the best channel on the planet. So I'm fine. I've got my spiritual family. I've got my tribe. I found my people. So I'm going to take care of you now. And say that, but mean it, please, because remember, in your game of life, you are the most important player. Remember, that meme just kills me. You are the main character and you are an NPC at the same time. So please be respectful to that. Just keep going. You're doing fine. You're doing perfect. Thank you ever so much for being so amazing and for being there. This community wouldn't be the same without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, lastly, if you'll be kind enough to measure your happiness index, so one exercise, just be honest with yourself. How are you doing? Do a little bit of a life review and just give yourself encouragement and pat on the back, and you can give yourself a hug, whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel better, and measure your happiness index right now. How does it make you feel? And you can put down the figure in the comments section. You can use 1 to 5 star rating, but ideally if you can try to stick with the format of 1 to 10. And should you be amazingly gracious to give yourself, because it's not me raising your vibrational frequency, it's not me making you happy. You make yourself happy. I'm just a convenient excuse. Just like you will make yourself free, you will make yourself abundant, I'm just a convenient excuse. Everything you could have done yourself, but thank you so much that you have gone on that journey together with us. But if you are 6 out of 10 right now, if you'd be kind enough to consider doing me a supreme favor, if I may be so presumptuous, if you can subscribe to this channel, and if you found value and entertainment from it so far, if you'll be kind enough to consider it, spreading it far and wide to as many people as you'd be kind enough to consider, particularly bearing in mind those 7 people that you'll be spending the most time with. That will be like a form of invitation for you, especially if you want to be a leader of that group, that business, that social network, whatever it is that you'll be doing within the framework, within the algorithm of your game of life. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much. I shall see you in the comment sections, and if there's anything I can help you with, or any suggestions, or you want anything from me, guys, I am here for you, not other way around. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you. Bye.